When students imagine success at Harvard, they often picture endless hours of studying, late nights, and overwhelming pressure. But the truth is far simpler and far more powerful. The most successful students do not study harder out of fear. They study with intention. Every time they sit down, they know exactly what they are there to do. They are not opening books to escape guilt, nor are they chasing perfection. They begin with clarity. They decide what matters today and give their attention fully to that purpose. When your mind understands why you are studying, it stops resisting. Purpose quiets anxiety. Pressure weakens focus, but purpose strengthens it. Instead of asking, "How long do I need to study?" they ask, "What must I understand before I stand up from this desk?" That shift changes everything. The mind becomes calmer, the heart steadier, and the work more meaningful. Studying becomes a mission, not a punishment. And when you study with purpose, even short sessions carry weight. You stop feeling behind because you are finally moving forward with direction. Purpose does not demand perfection. It demands presence, and presence is where progress is born. Most people believe learning happens when the eyes move across a page, but true learning happens when the mind is challenged to respond. The strongest students do not sit passively absorbing information. They actively wrestle with it. They close the book and ask themselves questions. They recall ideas without looking. They explain concepts as if someone were listening. This effort feels harder at first, but it is where growth lies. Passive reading gives comfort, but active recall builds strength. Every time you pull information from your memory, you are telling your brain, "This matters, keep this." Struggle during study is not failure, it is evidence of learning. The mind is like a muscle, and it only grows when it is used. Harvard students understand this truth. They welcome the discomfort of not remembering immediately because they know that effort today becomes confidence tomorrow. Instead of rereading the same lines, they test themselves, reflect, and refine their understanding. And slowly, quietly, the knowledge becomes part of them. What once felt fragile becomes firm. What once felt confusing becomes clear. There is another secret that separates consistent achievers from exhausted crammers. They respect time and they work with it, not against it. Learning is not meant to be forced into one night of panic. The brain remembers best when information is revisited gently and repeatedly over time. This is why spaced repetition works. By returning to material after short breaks, then longer ones, the mind strengthens its memory naturally. Each review is like reinforcing a foundation. Cramming builds walls quickly, but they collapse just as fast. Spacing builds slowly, but it lasts. Students who use this approach walk into exams calmer because the material already feels familiar. They are not meeting it for the first time under pressure. They have seen it before, wrestled with it before, and understood it before. This method reduces stress and increases confidence. It turns learning into a rhythm rather than a race. And when learning becomes a rhythm, it becomes sustainable. You stop burning out and you start building momentum. There is a powerful moment that reveals whether you truly understand something or not. It is the moment you try to explain it in simple words. Teaching is not about showing how much you know. It is about discovering what you don't. When students explain concepts out loud, gaps appear. Confusion rises to the surface. And that is a gift, because clarity is born when confusion is confronted, not ignored. The best students use teaching as a mirror. They speak ideas aloud, write them simply, or imagine explaining them to someone with no background at all. In doing so, complex ideas become clear, and weak understanding becomes strong. This practice builds confidence, because knowledge that can be explained cannot be easily shaken. Teaching transforms learning from memorization into mastery. It turns information into understanding, and understanding creates calm, even under pressure. Many believe success belongs to those who study the longest, but focus matters more than hours. Deep focus is rare, and that is why it is powerful. The strongest students protect their attention fiercely. They remove distractions, silence noise, and give their full presence to the task in front of them. Even short periods of deep focus produce extraordinary results. When the mind is fully engaged, learning accelerates, time becomes efficient, energy is preserved. Distraction, on the other hand, steals progress silently. Minutes turn into hours, and effort produces little return. Deep focus requires discipline, but it rewards generously. It teaches you to respect your own potential. When you learn to focus deeply, studying stops feeling heavy and starts feeling meaningful. In the end, success is not built in one dramatic moment. It is built quietly, daily, through consistency. The most successful students are not always the most gifted. They are the most faithful to their habits. They show up even when motivation fades. They take small steps every day, trusting that progress compounds. Consistency removes fear because it replaces uncertainty with routine. When you know you will show up tomorrow, failure loses its power. Confidence grows not from talent, but from trust in your own discipline. And when you commit to showing up day after day, your effort will speak louder than doubt ever could, because disciplined effort always leads to lasting success.